In the name of God, my name is Mehdi Kortnavarsi. In this movie, we are going to talk about software architecture and design, chapter 3, architecture patterns and styles. What is an architecture style? Architectural style, sometimes called an architectural pattern, is a set of principles, a coarse-grained pattern that provides an abstract framework for a family of systems. An architectural style improves partitioning and promote design reuse by providing solutions to frequently recurring problems. You can think of architecture style and pattern as set of principles that shapes an application. More specifically, an architectural style determines the vocabulary of components and connectors that can be used in instances of that style together with a set of constraints on how they can combine. An understanding of architectural style provides several benefits. The most important benefit is that they provide a common language. They also provide opportunities for conversations that are technology agnostic. These facilitate a higher level of conversation that is inclusive of patterns and principles without getting into specific. For example, by using architecture style, you can talk about client-server versus end-tier. Architectural style can be organized by their key focus area. The following table lists the major areas of focus and the corresponding architectural style. There are 4 categories of architectural style. The first in communication category is service-oriented architecture, or SOA, and message bus. In the deployment category, client-server, end-tiers, and 3-tiers. In the domain category, domain-driven design. And the structure category, component-based, object-oriented, layered architecture are architectural styles. And we will talk about in all of these styles in the following of the course. The first is the client-server architectural style. Other variations on the client-server styles include client queue, client system. This approach allows clients to communicate with other clients through a server-based queue. Clients can be reached and read data from and send data to a server that acts simply as a queue to store the data. This allows clients to distribute and synchronize files and information. This is sometimes known as a passive queue architecture. Peer-to-peer or P2P applications is another type of the client-server architecture, developed from the client queue client style, the P2P style, allows the client and server to swap their roles in order to distribute and synchronize files and information across multiple clients. It extends the client-server style through multiple responses to requests, share data, resource discovery, and resilience to removal of peers. Other style in this category is application server, a specialized architectural style where the server hosts and executes applications and services that a thin client access through a browser or a specialized client installed software. An example is a client executing an application that runs on the server through a framework such as a terminal service. The main benefits of the client-server architectural styles are higher security. All data is stored on the server, which generally offers a greater control of security than client machines. Centralized data access. Because data is stored only on the server, access and updates on the data are far easier to administer than in other architectural styles. Next benefit is ease of maintenance. Rules and responsibilities of a computing system are distributed among several servers that are known to each other through a network, and this ensures that a client remains unaware and unaffected by a server repair, upgrade, or relocation. Consider the client-server architectural style if your application is server-based and will support many clients. You creating web-based applications exposed through a web browser. You are implementing business processes that will be used by people throughout the organization. Or you are creating services for other applications to consume. The client-server architectural style is also suitable, like many network styles, when you want to centralize data storage, backup, and maintenance and management functions, or when your application must support different client types and different devices. However, the traditional two-tier client-server architectural style has numerous disadvantages, including the tendency for application data and business logic to be closely combined on the server, which can negatively impact system extensibility and scalability, and its dependence only on a central server, which can negatively impact system reliability. To address these issues, the client-server architectural style has evolved into the more general three-tier or N-tier architectural style described below which overcomes some of the disadvantages inherent in the two-tier client-server architecture and provides additional benefits.
So if you think of your computer sitting here, this is your laptop or your PC, whatever machine you're using to connect to the internet. When you type in a website address, your computer sends out a request to a server on the network. So this would be the request here. And the server is going to look at your request and see if it's a valid request and if it can fulfill it. This is a very critical part. If you send an invalid request which cannot be fulfilled, of course, you're going to get an error. That error could be a 404 page, or the page can't be found, or something in those lines. So the server is going to look at it, and if it can fulfill it, then it's going to respond with the kind of the whatever it is that you requested. If it's a web page, then it's gonna send you the web page to your computer and so on and so forth. So basically, in this scenario, you making the request, you are the client which needs some information or has a request, and this computer on the network which fulfills your request is the server. It's a very, very simple analogy to pick them up from some place. That person is the client, and you serving them with some sort of service, you are the server. It's a very simple analogy, but very, very powerful one, and the whole internet is based on this analogy. When you want to authenticate with a server, when you want to send information across the network, this analogy is everywhere. So hope now you have an understanding of what a client and a server is.
Okay, thank you for watching this movie. In the next movie, we are going to talk about a component-based architecture style and other styles. Thank you.